his intentions was to kill her over the phone calls. There was a note that stated, okay, now you are going to come my way, and when I get you alone, I will cut you up into bits so no one will ever find you. All right, you guys, welcome to our second ever podcast show. We got Ree Choi right here. And
second podcast episode, not show.
Second podcast, you're right.
Episode, not second podcast. Episode.
It's just second episode?
Second podcast episode or second episode?
Anyways, this time around, we are actually going to be covering a true crime story.
Dun dun dun.
It's actually kind of crazy. Have you ever heard of the murder of Dorothy Jane Scott?
Yeah.
You have?
No.
Oh my god, I was like, dude, screw, like, this whole podcast is over, the show is over. But I made sure.
Dorothy what?
Dorothy Jane Scott.
Dorothy Jane Scott.
It's actually one of like the lesser known ones, but it's still such a controversial and puzzling story behind it. I don't know why that, people aren't posting more about this, or it's more like well known, because we obviously know like what is it? What's that San Francisco killer? The
Zodiac killer?
The Zodiac killer. All those are so basic, right? That's like out in the news. But this, when I was looking through the story, I was like, it's kind of chilling, bro. And it actually is chilling. So yeah, the murder of Dorothy Jane Scott. She is a single mom, and she lived in Stanton, California.
Okay.
You know where Stanton is,
Stanton,
right?
Yeah.
She was born in April 23rd in Anaheim, so it's not that far away. Keep in mind, she's a very conservative person. She goes to church, and she, even from her coworkers and her family and friends, they said nothing but good things about her. Yeah, she was very conservative in nature. She had a relationship with a guy named Dennis, okay? And they basically had a kid, but they obviously didn't work out together. The baby daddy basically went and moved over to Missouri, so that's far away. So that's an important detail to note, okay? Keep it in mind, he lives in Missouri. In May of 1980, she actually started receiving weird phone calls. She recognized the voice, but she couldn't pinpoint on who the caller was.
Okay.
And the caller, a stalker of hers, basically knew everything about her and clearly stated that his intentions was to kill her over the phone calls. So one time, the caller instructed Dorothy to come outside because he had something for her.
That's creepy.
And she basically went outside and saw a single dead rose on the car, like where the windshield is. And there was a note that stated, okay, now you are going to come my way, and when I get you alone, I will cut you up into bits so no one will ever find you.
Oh, I just got chills. That's weird.
It's freaking weird, man. Imagine that. Like, that's like something that I fear for these like women these days. Like they're like, oh, like I have a stalker and everything, but us guys, like we think, oh, it's probably just a creepy guy, and it's not gonna be a crazy murder or anything, right? So obviously, this call made her extremely terrified and unsafe. So she thought about purchasing a gun, but knowing that she has a 4-year-old son, who knows, the kid could be playing around with the gun while she's at work, whatnot, might shoot himself or do something very dangerous, right?
Yeah.
So instead, she took up karate lessons to try to like defend herself.
That's dumb.
I mean, that's true. If someone's gonna cut you up into pieces, there's no way you're gonna like defend yourself with just your
You're gonna
hands.
bring your hands to a knife fight? All right. She didn't call the cops?
She didn't call the cops, surprisingly.
Call the cops. What's wrong with you?
So towards the end of May, she's now 32 years old. She started her day regularly.
Wait, when did she get the call? How old was she when she got the call?
This was 32 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was 32 years old. So this is like current right now. And she dropped off her son at her parents' place and informed that she would be late due to a work meeting at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Then she arrived to work. She works at a swingers psych and head shop boutique.
Swingers, like married couples having fun with each other. A swinger?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that exposes you to a potentially creepy crowd.
Exactly, which just makes this even more interesting. It's like, okay, so she definitely has a stalker from someone that probably went in there, or it could be a coworker, could be someone, one of her friends. But yeah, as soon as she arrived to work, she noticed something weird about her coworker, Conrad. Okay, this is a guy coworker. There's actually 2 coworkers that she was working with, a guy and a girl. The guy, Conrad, she noticed something weird about him, and so they were like, okay, we should probably go to the hospital.
Wait, what was wrong with him?
He had a suspected spider bite, black widow spider bite.
Oh, okay.
So they thought, okay, maybe so
just reacting
to it, yeah, essentially. So her and her girl coworker decided to drive him to the Irvine Medical Center.
Okay.
But before she did that, she stopped by her parents' house to inform that she's going to drop her coworker off at the hospital, so she doesn't know how late she's going to be back home, since cell phones weren't existed back then, Interesting fact to note down, She checked on her son before leaving, and she switched out her red scarf for a black one. Keep that in mind, okay? So she drove to the UC Irvine Medical Center.
What the frock? I'm just kidding.
And they did find out that he was bitten by a black widow spider. So doctor treated him. Dorothy and her girl coworker Pam waited for him while reading magazines in the ER. He was released at approximately 11 p.m. and the three office mates briefly separated. They went to go to the pharmacy to fill a prescription. Meanwhile, Dorothy went to retrieve her car to pick them up at the front. So that was her motive. She's like, okay, you guys go to the pharmacy, go get your medications, I'll grab the car and swoop you up. And she basically said that she'll pick them up 2 minutes, like in 2 minutes at the front of the entrance, okay? Dorothy went into the restroom first before heading to the parking lot, and that was the last time anyone saw Dorothy Scott.
So not even at the parking lot is when they left each other. They never saw Dorothy again.
So they actually were waiting for her at the parking lot, but as they stepped out, they saw her car quickly rush out, like literally just like fast driving like no other. And for them, they thought, oh, she probably had like an emergency call with her son or something. So they were just like, okay, let's just wait out here, and she'll probably be back, you know. Lo and behold, she never came back. They were waiting for hours on end, and they decided, okay, let's call the authorities. And after a couple of hours, they called her parents and asked if their daughter picked up her son. And nope, obviously she wasn't home. So they reported her to the authorities afterwards.
Yeah, missing person unit.
Mm-hmm. Weirdly enough, a few hours later, Dorothy's car was found in Santa Ana, which is 10 miles away from the hospital, and it was left on fire. It was burning. The whole car was burning up, and that's...
Burn up the evidence.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't see the body in there. After this discovery, they now think this is a serious crime, right? Obviously, like...
Something bad happened.
It's kind of suspicious if the missing person is gone, and there's no body in there, and her own vehicle is lit up on fire, you know?
Something happened to her.
Yeah. The Scott family went through anguish not knowing what happened to Dorothy. Their troubles compounded and worsened when the anonymous person kept calling them even after Dorothy was gone. The first call happened after the first week of the single mother being missing. The Scott family received a call while alone, and the caller asked if they were related to Dorothy and said, "I got her," then hung up the phone. The police didn't get any fruitful results, and the case went nowhere. And the police told the family not to contact the media or talk to them as it would disrupt the investigation. Makes sense, right? But after 1 week of no progress, it was too heartbreaking for our parents, which I totally get. Like, after a week of my daughter being missing, and it's like no work has been done, I'll start speaking up, you know, regardless of what the authorities have said.
So they talked to the news?
Yeah, they did. So they gave up waiting on the investigation and called the Orange County Register about their daughter's disappearance. When the paper published the story, the unknown caller called the newspaper managing editor on June 12th and told them, "I killed her. I killed Dorothy Scott. She was my love. I caught her cheating with another man. She denied having someone else. I killed her." With all this in mind, that proved that it was someone that knew her well. The caller also knew she changed her sweater from a red scarf into a black one. Whoa. So how would you know about that, right? Think about it. The only people that would actually know that she switched her scarf would technically be her parents and her two co-workers. But of course, there could be a stalker watching every single move, right? So who knows? We still have no idea.
No Shia LaBeouf.
Why Shia LaBeouf?
It's always Shia LaBeouf.
I don't know. There's so many. I don't even know what happened to that guy. That guy fell off. But the strange thing is that the caller also knew that they took her co-worker Conrad to the hospital to get treatment for the spider bite. And there was a claim that Dorothy called them up from the hospital the night she disappeared, but Pam disputed that because she was with her the whole time in the hospital. So the only time she wasn't with Dorothy was when they separated shortly, while Pam and Conrad went to the pharmacy while she was trying to, go get her car to pick them up. As months and years went by, Dorothy's parents continued waiting for any leads of the investigation. The mysterious caller continues to taunt her parents and kept calling them, knowing their schedule for 4 years, especially when the mom was home alone. So it's been 4 years already since the disappearance of Dorothy. The caller would mentally torture Mrs. Scott, her mom, telling her that he had Dorothy or killed her throughout the whole 4 years, bro. Like, that's ridiculous.
They never found the body?
Get this. The chilling call stops after 4 years. But on August 6, 1984, around 7:15 a.m., a construction worker actually found a skeleton half a mile east from the Eucalyptus Drive in northeast Anaheim. So they ran tests of the skeletons, trying to make sure if it's actually her or not. And they indeed confirmed that it was Dorothy through her dental records.
How'd she die?
The autopsy couldn't determine the cause of her death. It's weird. And then 2 days after it was confirmed, the caller called the parents' home and asked, is Dorothy there? But didn't stay on the phone long enough for the police to tap in to find the caller's ID. So on August 22nd, Dorothy was laid to rest with her case still open on the limbo. There was no suspects or arrests made. Obviously everyone, well, not everyone, but majority of people like, oh, like they have suspicions. It might be their co-workers there, or maybe, so help me God, even her parents. But it could also be her long lost, baby daddy who lives in Missouri, So they thought that it might be Dorothy's previous lover, who they had the baby together with, but was ruled out because the suspect was in Missouri at the time of her disappearance.
Confirmed?
Confirmed.
Oh, it's so creepy.
So,
I have chills.
so what are your suspicions? What do you think? Because obviously, like with all those specific details, it had to be someone that knew her pretty well.
No voice changer?
No voice changer. Because she even recognized the voice on the phone call.
The mother?
No, Dorothy. Dorothy, yeah, the one that got killed. She recognized the voice but couldn't determine who it was.
Okay. So, if you couldn't recognize the voice, then it probably wasn't family. Because you know your family's voice anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, it had to be some type of secondary or tertiary relationship. So, coworker sounds more right.
Right. But how could it be the coworker when they were both in the pharmaceutical getting the meds, and they come out and they see the car rushing out?
Are those the only two coworkers?
Those are the only two coworkers.
Okay.
And they obviously was with her because remember the whole red scarf changing to black scarf? That happened once they left their workplace, went to Dorothy's home to quickly, tell her parents, okay, like I'm gonna be late, I don't know what time I'm gonna be back, checking on their kid, and then quickly changed from a red scarf to a black one. So the co-workers were the only ones to know about that, technically speaking, and the family, right?
Yeah.
But the family was home with her kid. And obviously the ex-lover is ruled out. He was confirmed to be in Missouri at the time of their disappearance. So that's ruled out.
I mean, the only one that... And they both saw the car go away. Rushing away.
Wait, what'd you say?
The car was rushing away.
Like speed driving, like imagine, like just, booking it.
That's crazy.
And that's like the last, well, before the last thing they saw, they obviously said bye, like I'll see you in the parking lot. She went to the bathroom shortly, but the bathroom was the last sign of anyone seeing her.
And they didn't see if it was her driving, they just saw the car go away.
They just saw the car going away. So that's another little thing, a little like loophole into the whole mystery.
Mr. Stalker. That's so creepy.
Right? And not only that, for 4 years, continuously started calling her parents, taunting them. I mean, imagine how distressed as a parent, knowing that your kid is missing for 4 years, but consistently for 4 years getting phone calls.
That is hell. Wow. Man. Do you have a guess?
My guess, I honestly think that it's her coworkers. I don't know who, but obviously they were there at the time. Maybe they, had someone helping them. And the whole excuse of, the spider bite was like a nice little alibi of like, okay, we need to go to the hospital. So I don't know. And it just seems so like sus. I'm pretty sure they were working with someone to like get rid of her. But at the same time, who would want to get rid of her? Like according to what people, her friends, family, and workplace said, she was a good person. She was a very genuine person. Went to church all the time, religious Christian. So
could have hired a hitman.
But for what reason?
What was the male coworker's name?
Conrad.
Yeah. So Conrad hired a hitman because like burning the car, that's pretty professional.
Right.
It gets rid of all the fingerprints. So it's someone that didn't want to be found. And if it's a hitman, they've done this before. And so He could have just hired a hitman, paid him off. Man, I would look at banknotes, because you gotta pay a hitman, and so suspicious amount of money that got withdrawn.
Right, that's the only way to do it at the time, right? There was no digital like sending money or anything back then.
There were credit cards, but yeah, if my best guess, because I don't have all the info, because I'm sure there's a crowd of people that could be possible suspects that we haven't looked into, but my best guess would, if her ex-husband was actually in Missouri and this alibi is clean, then it would have to been Conrad that hired someone to kill her, because the timing was just too perfect, where it was at the hospital. Probably Conrad put the idea to separate, and then, or if he was really smart about it, gave the idea to the female coworker so that she says, okay, I'll get the meds, and then you get the car, and then the hitman was waiting in the car, and then drove away, so that in their sight, so it can be confirmed that they both saw what they saw, and so that guy's innocent.
That's a good theory.
That's the only thing I could think of.
By the way, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the video, okay? Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, man. Like, as a father, like, obviously you don't have kids right now, but just imagine if you were a dad.
You'd go crazy.
Right?
You'd go crazy.
Especially not knowing what happened, and the authorities not, like, really, like, I mean, they're doing their job, but, like, no good work, like, they got nothing out of it. It's still remained a cold case, still to this day. But what scares me the most is this happened in Anaheim, bro. This happened literally like 30 minutes away from where we're living right now.
That's insane. That is wild, though. I'm real curious about what actually happened. But if I was a betting man, that guy Conrad did it.
Ooh, he's selling the Conrad. What's your guys' thoughts? Who would you bet that thinks that they murdered Dorothy?
Let us know.
Put it down in the comments, you guys. Put it down in the comments. But okay, yeah. What should our next podcast be?
Honestly, I can do a Q&A. I can just like ask my followers,
Okay.
list of questions.
The next podcast we're going to do is we're going to have a Q&A with Reed Choi. So if you guys are very interested in general and want to know things about Reed, he'll be posting it up.
Both of us. Both of us.
All right, stay tuned, you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below.
Thank you.